theory of evolution is one of the most controversial theories in all of science, and it sort of sits at the forefront of this supposed war between science and religion. There's people on both sides, on the side of science and religion, that see the two as in conflict, that the theory of evolution is in conflict with Christian understanding of the world. For example, there are those that argue that evolution demonstrates the world is devoid of purpose and meaning, that it's just all chance encounters and there's no loving God at the end of the day. And then there's others on the side of religion who argue that evolution must be wrong because evolution, by its nature, denies the existence of God. These people have perpetuated on both sides this idea that science and faith are irreconcilable. So what's a Catholic supposed to make of this debate, the debate between science and religion, particularly as it pertains to evolution? Well, the Church has said, particularly in the last 5 to 6 years, a lot on this, and particularly through the writings of Pope Benedict. And one of the things that's important is to understand what we mean by the term creation and evolution. And creation, both of those terms can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So what does creation mean from a Catholic viewpoint? Well, it means a lot, but sort of one of the essential 2 points that I'd like to make about it is that creation, from a Catholic perspective, recognizes that the world is contingent and dependent upon God for its existence, not only at the beginning, but throughout all of history, that it only exists because God wills it to exist. And the same thing with human beings, that human beings are contingent, but they were made in the image and likeness of God. Now that view of creation is not necessarily opposed to a scientific understanding of evolution. And by that I mean it's the understanding of evolution that the body of man, the physical body of man evolved through natural mechanisms over the course of billions and billions of years. Now, those two, and Pope Benedict says that these can be seen as not opposed, but working together. Now, what he does warn against is views of evolution, people that argue that evolution necessarily means that the totality of man, not only man's body, but his soul, his mind, everything of man can be reduced to physical properties, that every aspect of man, there's nothing more than the physical being that's there, and that physical being evolved by chance, and that's it, and there's nothing else. That view of evolution, which Pope John Paul II and Pope Benedict warn against, is not compatible with creation, but a purely scientific understanding of evolution, understanding that the natural processes allowed organisms to change over time and develop into the different life forms that we see today. That sort of scientific understanding is not in contradiction with the understanding of creation, that God is responsible for the existence of the world and he's responsible for the existence of humans. So it really comes down to a fundamental choice between two different worldviews, and Pope Benedict articulates this well. And he said that one view is that at the beginning there was reason, with a capital R. There was God, the rational God, who created this world that we see around us, this complex, rational, intelligible, ordered universe. And this universe, because of its order and structure that you see in a human, all the way down to the structure of an atom, this order allows the universe to evolve, and that order is dependent upon God. There's a source of that order. That's one view. The other view is that just by chance, things bumping into each other, we get this order, that there was no order at the beginning, it was just chaos, randomness, and chance, and out of that comes this surprisingly developed, intricate order that we see around us. So you're down to two choices. On one hand, it came from God and from reason, and the other, it just so happened to be that way. And I think only one of those answers, the first one, is really intellectually satisfying. And that's the answer that the Church has to why we find ourselves in this rational, reasonable, intelligible, ordered world.